Hi, I'm Dino Tripodis. The first, what we hope is an annual comedy festival, takes place this week right here in Columbus, Ohio. And our guest, Nickey Winkelman, is in the festival. But first, she'll be on Whiskey Business tonight. Welcome to Whiskey Business, the podcast not so much about whiskey as it is one with whiskey.
Yes, everybody.
We're all in a very jovial mood this evening, as well we should be. Nickey Winkelman, comedian Nickey Winkelman will be joining us. She is part of the Columbus Comedy Festival, the first, like I said in the intro, hopefully annual festival. Literally hundreds of comedians descending upon Columbus in various venues across town. And when Nickey sits down in Chip's chair, we'll find out exactly where she is going to be in the mix. And I apparently am in the mix as well. I'm hosting a show on Friday night at the Key.
All right, we'll get all the links in the show notes.
Yeah,
We'll do
that's
that
what they say.
on the
So
podcast.
they call them show notes now?
Show notes.
Okay.
But first, a couple things. One, thank you, Gatto's, right out of the gate.
Yes.
Gatto's. Gotta get a Gatto's. Right out of the gate.
Gatto's,
Right.
Chip,
It's
it's
nice to have
Gatto's.
it back.
What did I say?
Gatto's.
You
always
say
say
Gatto's.
Gatto's.
Gotta get a
You
Gatto's.
say Gatto's.
All right.
You say Caribbean or Caribbean?
Caribbean, obviously.
All right.
Caramel or caramel?
Caramel. Am I mixing it up?
Gatto or Gatto's?
Gatto's. Gotta get a Gatto's.
It's funny because in Italian, gatto would be gatto in Italian, which is interesting that you say gatto.
Was Gatto
mean?
cat?
Gatto means cat. Yes.
Okay, so cat pizza?
That's it.
No.
That's what that sausage is.
That's what it is, man.
It is good
Yeah.
pizza.
No,
But
kidding.
thank you, Gatto.
It is great pizza.
And coincidentally, I love serendipity, if you will. Our guest bottle tonight is a bottle of barrel strength Watershed bourbon, single barrel, 63.47 proof.
Ouch.
Do the math.
26.
And it is a 5-year-old bourbon, and it is part of their Winning Hand series. They put out 6 bourbons: an ace, a king, a queen, a jack, a 10, and coincidentally enough, since we have a comedian on the show tonight, this is the Joker bottle. This is the Joker bottle.
Nice. This is like the
Completely-
high-class version of the PBR bottles, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
very high class version.
Nice.
These were moderately priced when they were released, and Greg
wanna do
Lehman
business?
from Watershed Distillery
Thanks, Greg.
was kind enough to
Oh, yeah.
share a bottle with
That's
me.
the cool and like bummer about Watershed. They always do awesome things, but they go so quick.
They go very quickly.
I know.
So while he's pouring, how about doing the business?
Yeah.
Yeah, do the business while I pour.
Thanks so much for subscribing to Whiskey
That's good.
Business
Just a
on your
little
favorite podcasting app. Rate, review, subscribe, all that jazz. We're also, if you don't know, we're on YouTube, Whiskey Business with Dino Tripodis. Make sure you subscribe to us there and hit that little bell button.
Smash.
Yeah.
Johnny, make sure that you get to see all the
Ding, ding, ding,
unedited
ding.
loveliness.
Chip,
Yeah.
coaster.
Yeah, so
Thank you. It is.
Keep your eye out there. Instagram, Facebook. We just launched our TikTok page. We don't
Right.
even have one post yet,
Right.
but we have one.
Well,
okay?
we should shoot something tonight and then
We did.
post
We
it.
launched it.
Well, it's open.
We have one.
We have one.
Yeah,
We
we
have-
Now
actually
we have
have
to put
one.
stuff on it.
Yeah.
So is
It's
there
not
a
just-
that's
new
the
dance
next
we
step.
got to do?
Yeah.
It's not like a jokey thing anymore. Like we're on
Practice.
Disney Plus. No,
No,
this is
We
real.
have a TikTok
Nope,
page.
nope.
We're on TikTok.
But we will be in the closing ceremonies of the Olympics.
No,
So
nice.
we'll be wrapping up
We
that
will not be
in
the
Paris.
closing
We'll be doing
ceremonies
that.
of the Olympics. No.
Okay.
God knows
No.
it couldn't hurt it.
No. But probably the funniest thing I did see over the course of the Olympics was the Italian pole vaulter.
His junk.
Oh, the guy who... Oh, yeah.
Whose junk
Yes.
got in the way.
He should
Yeah.
be proud, though.
I'm telling you what, he got more notoriety and probably more fans
Yeah.
from that mistake
Yeah.
than he would have if he would have cleared it and
Right,
actually,
right.
There's so many brands like Hims and Manscaped. All these things are going to jump on the opportunity.
Sure.
Yeah, it was very, very funny. It was a kind of a mix like, oh my God, that's hysterical. I'm like, oh man, you
what a
work
way
your
to
entire
go.
life.
What do you expect him to do? Tuck it?
Well, he's had
do
obviously he's
that.
had to deal with it before.
Yeah.
And then I was kind
Poor
of envious
guy.
because I thought, you know what? No, 65 years old and my penis has never gotten in the way of anything
No,
in my life. Anything. Not a single thing ever.
Yeah.
So
Well,
good for him.
Yes.
eh,
I've gotten in the way
yeah.
of it, but it's never gotten me in the way of anything. So the business is done. Everybody's good. Chip, you were where? No, you were. We already discussed that last time.
Oh, yeah, we had discussed Beaver Island.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
were
the
at
shirt
you
my
were at
wife
the
got me.
cabin recently.
Yeah.
trying
Oh,
to-
that's right. I was at the cabin.
Yeah, the
That's
cabin
right.
that we've never been to.
Yeah. It's getting completely like renovated and a lot of maintenance issues. And
need
afterwards, then we can have a nice
A
cozy
whiskey
time.
business retreat.
Yes, we could even do an episode from there if you want.
Ooh.
All right. Yeah.
Ooh, how about the Halloween special?
I don't know. Maybe
Don't get me started.
when the kids were little, that was a thing. We would all go out to the
Maybe.
cabin on Halloween and tell
I
ghost
bet you it's
stories
spooky
around.
out there at night.
Oh, it is spooky. There's
Down in the
owls.
Hocking Hills?
Yep. Down in
Yeah.
the Hocking Hills. There's owls that hoot. In the
Are there
middle of the
wolves
night.
and shit?
There are wolves,
Wolves and shit. Wow.
shit and
Which is
foxes.
that cackle?
I suppose that's what that was.
I just took my
Yeah.
first sip. Oh, wow.
how is it?
Watershed does it again, the boys.
All right, we didn't even sip. I didn't sip.
That's no joke.
Oh,
That's no joke.
Excuse me.
Got
Cheers.
kicked.
Ooh, 126.
Yeah, 126
Yeah, just,
proof for sure.
It's very complex.
It's complex, but
Yeah.
Oh
That's some
man,
flavor,
got a nice
man.
hug.
That's
It's got
good.
great flavor.
yeah. Very sweet.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
hugging me.
this
Oh,
is
it's
one of
got-
those things where I probably should only have one.
Yeah.
Probably only have
Probably.
one. You won't, but
I said probably.
Yeah.
some nice. I'm picking up some nice caramel notes on that one for sure. So there's a little sweetness to it, but it's got a nice little.
The
spice.
after flavor is really spicy.
Yeah.
Real, like kitchen cupboard spice.
Bravo! Now this makes you want
Yeah.
to try all the other.
Yeah.
The full hand.
Yeah, the
What's
full
it called?
hand.
The full house.
The
is
winning.
it?
Deal yourself a winning hand.
A winning hand. Okay.
Get them
gotcha.
all, which I don't
Gotcha.
have them all, but that'd be the
I
best.
thought it was going to be like a flush or a full
It is
house.
Yeah, it's a flush.
With the Joker?
well, the Joker's the.
That's a
extra-
wild card.
extra
You
way.
know,
Okay.
yeah.
But the royal flush is there.
I don't know anything about gambling, but I always know that you don't play with the Joker in the deck.
No, you don't.
You
You
know,
know, there
so-
are some games that
Yeah.
you're. Yeah, you don't gamble with the
Some
Joker.
rummy games.
Yeah, rummy.
You don't gamble with the Joker.
The Joker.
Joker of
Is that a Bob
spades.
Dylan song or Kenny Rogers
You
song?
don't gamble with the
Joker.
Joker.
I'm a smoker. I'm a
Midnight
midnight
toker.
toker.
Yeah. Well, we should probably get Nickey up here
Yeah, we
because
probably should.
it's just getting really ugly.
Take your whiskey and enjoy your Gattos, Chip. And Chip will be
Gattos.
on a faraway microphone as we
Yeah.
bring in closer. Yay, everybody! Welcome back,
Welcome,
Nickey
Nickey.
Winkelman.
Gotta finish her texting.
Ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Welcome back.
Hello.
She just signed the watershed barrel out front, or the guest barrel. Yeah, she did.
I thought you said that was your good side. Their hair's all in your face.
Oh, is it not good?
It's good.
Yeah, then now it's good.
You don't have a bad side.
Oh, okay.
You don't have a bad side.
Where are we going? Are we recording already?
Yeah, we're
Oh, yeah.
recording. Do you have a bad side? You think you have a bad side?
Well, it's not on my face.
Here with Alfred Rudder.
well, yeah, I know.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm chaotic. I'm terrible. I'm all the things. So-
Okay? Let's pick one.
Well, I
Terrible.
was-
Why are you chaotic or why are you terrible? You choose.
Okay, so I was listening to today. I was listening to the last episode that I recorded with you guys.
And how many
back
years ago
in-
was that?
That was 2021. So
Wow.
but it was it was November. It was almost 3 years ago.
Wow,
I think
wow,
I
wow.
was here then for that
That was
one.
right after that's right
Yeah.
after.
What was
Right
the
after COVID.
occasion? Just because you're awesome, or was there like a show or something you were promoting?
Was there a show? I don't.
Was it
Obviously,
The
I
Premise
just
with,
listened to it today,
John
and I don't.
Whitney and
already
Ryan
don't
Why was
remember.
she on the show then?
yeah,
Because she's
yeah.
awesome.
All right,
Yeah,
fair enough.
Your
Oh,
first.
We
thanks,
don't
Dino.
need a reason.
No.
Could have been the premise,
No, it wasn't the premise. It was just
No.
because she's awesome. Go on.
You
So
are
you were
awesome.
listening. You were listening.
We had the great debate coming up.
Right. Maybe
Yeah,
that was
I
it.
think that was
Okay.
it.
All right. Let's
But
say
also
that's
just
it.
because I like hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
One.
So you
There's
were
one
listening
person.
to it, and you took it.
And I was because earlier today I was like, I don't feel like I've got that much going on, and then I was like listening to it, and I was like, well, I've had a lot going on since the last time I was here,
There could be a lot going on comedically, and there could be a lot going on in life. I mean, that's what the beauty of this podcast is. It's just not necessarily, you don't have to come on and, hey, all right, be funny. I used to hate that when I used to go to radio stations. And say, like, be funny, you know. And it just
Greg
make you
told
do
me I have
bits
to
or
be
something?
funny.
Yeah.
Of all people to tell you,
Yeah.
the Instagram post, you're gonna be. He was being smart, and
He said I
clever,
have to be
right?
funny.
Busting balls.
Busting
we do that
balls.
with friends, you know.
Yeah. Comedians do that with each other.
Excited about Tuesday.
When strangers do it,
You better be funny.
Yeah.
Now I feel like because of that post, we're friends now.
You know what I said back there in the text today?
We weren't
I said-
before? No.
Yeah,
according
right.
to Dino,
exactly.
I'm not. Yo,
You know,
what'd you say?
When I said, oh, this is coming from the guy who can't tell a knock knock joke without wait, let me start over.
Can you tell one?
Can you tell a knock knock joke?
Knock knock,
Who's there?
Madame.
Madame who?
Madame foot stuck in the door. Open up.
That's such a dad knock joke, dude.
That's dumb.
All right, you do one with me.
Oh wait, you do it to me? or
No,
oh,
you go.
Oh, I got to think of another one. Knock knock.
Why?
Fair enough.
I've got a 6-year-old now.
Okay,
yeah, when I
yeah,
was here
so
last,
you-
he was only 3. Yeah, he's 6 now,
Wow.
and he has gotten into telling some jokes.
What's his favorite joke that's horrible?
His favorite joke is, well, the first joke I ever taught him, he didn't understand, but he would still do the punchline anytime I did the setup.
That's a good kid right there.
It is,
Yeah.
because
That's a
I would
comic
say to
kid
him,
right
I would
there.
say to him, I'd be like, "Hey, buddy, where does the general keep his armies?" And he would respond back in his sleeveys. Yes.
I know that one. That's good.
Yeah, but his favorite joke is, what do you call a man with a rubber toe?
I don't know. What do you call a man with a rubber toe?
Roberto.
Bravo. Well, that's very
It's funnier from a 6. It's funnier from a 6-year-old, but yeah.
Now,
They
is
have
he?
like a, "What about dog?"
I'm always curious about that because my daughter has a sense of humor. She's a very wry, sarcastic sense of humor, but she's very funny. She's never done stand up, but she has a great sense of humor. Do you think that you've passed your sense of humor on to your son? Do you think that's?
Yeah,
Do you think there's
yeah.
some genetics in there?
Well, and also I'm very much myself around him. So the things that I laugh at, and I mean, of course I censor myself a little bit.
Sure, you have to.
But yeah, he picks up on the things that I laugh at, and so then he laughs at them too. You know, some of it's mimicry, but yeah, he's got a great sense of humor, and he loves puns and things like that. When I put 2 words together that don't go together, he thinks it's hilarious.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's wit.
Yeah, the first one he ever did that where he came up on his own was like we were going on vacation, just him and me, and we were telling his dad about it, and we were going to Lake Michigan, but then there's like a smaller lake there called Lake Kai. And I was like, and there's all kinds of things to do on Lake Kai. And Flynn, without missing a beat, he goes, like kayaking. And then he's like, ha, 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 get it? I was like, you just came up with, like, he's 6. So
Yeah, that's good
I
as
was
thinking.
impressed. Yeah.
That's sharp. That's quick. Sharp, quick, in the moment.
Yep.
He knows what kayaking is. It's
That's what
that's
I
great.
did. I took him kayaking.
Yeah.
So you mentioned out of the gate, terrible, chaotic.
Yeah.
Let's choose one
Okay.
to start with.
Well, so the last time I was here, I was about to get married,
Uh-huh.
which also, by the way, was a lie. I was already married.
Okay, that's all right. We forgive
I was
you.
listening to it and I was like, oh, I totally lied. Well, we lied to everybody because we got married during the pandemic, like in private, just in our living room, and then kept it a secret so that we could still have a party that people would come to. Because if you tell,
Like they wouldn't come?
well, because if you tell them you're already married and
Yeah.
they're like, well, we're gonna have a wedding and we'll invite you, they're like, well, you've already done it.
You already did it. Yeah, I get it.
You think they would still? I don't think people would still
Hey, you're
come.
coming clean now.
I wouldn't go to
Right.
that.
If you have an open bar, people will come to anything.
Well, that's
Yeah, true.
And you got married during the pandemic.
and then
so
well, yes.
it's not
So
like,
it was like yeah.
not like socializing was a huge thing at that particular time.
And then we had a wedding with people at it, and then we got separated a year later. So and now So in those 3 years that since I've been here, I'm now no longer with real proud.
You had a good
Are
one.
you proud of me, Dad?
Yeah, she calls me her comedy dad, and I call her my comedy daughter. Look, hey, first of all, I'm sorry
Thank you.
because I know you went into it with obviously the best of intentions, as anybody should
Yeah.
in a marriage. And I have no doubt, you being my comedy daughter, that you put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
And did everything as best of your abilities. So, things sometimes don't work out for a lot of different reasons.
True.
But a failure of a marriage, if that's what you want to call it, doesn't define you.
No.
In the least. It doesn't
No.
define you. It doesn't define individuals. It defines a situation, is what it does.
Yes. My therapist actually says that your divorce is a product of your growth.
Oh,
That's an
yeah.
interesting
That's
point.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a nice
is.
positive spin.
Right.
It's a great positive spin, and
Yeah.
it should be. It should be because you don't want to stagnate after that. You do want to.
You don't want
grow
it to hold
and
you
prosper.
back.
So,
No.
so is that part of the chaos, or is
That's
that part of the terrible?
Well, it was both. It was both. Because it wasn't my choice. I didn't want it. But I'm starting to see that, and I hate admitting this, that he's right. You know what I mean? Like, that's the part that's like, well, I think he was probably right. Like, we're better co-parents now. Yeah. So it's not terrible now. Things have been very amicable.
To your friends. Which
Yeah. Well, yes.
friendly.
I mean,
yes.
if you can do that,
Yeah, it's
that's
actually
ideal.
good.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was
Especially
married
with
for
a kid
5.5 years, and we were boom, boom, boom like this.
Yeah.
And as soon as we split up and got divorced, we co-parented and
Yeah.
became the honestly best of friends, but
Yeah.
better. And it was
Yeah.
better. It was better for the kid.
It is, yeah. It is. We're really doing a great job of communicating everything that's going on with him. Like, if something big happens when he's at his dad's house, like, he'll text me and tell me what's going on. Like, we're probably communicating better
That's great.
parenting now than we were when we were together. Because I think when we were together, our different parenting styles were, like you said, it was like combat.
Friction.
Not everybody's watching on YouTube.
Yeah,
Some people are
right,
listening
right,
on
right.
Spotify. We're pounding our fists together.
You're right. You're right.
But yeah, we were at odds with each other because we were trying to find that parenting technique that could be for both of us. Instead of now, it's okay that he does it his way and I do it my way, as long as we're consistent on the things that matter.
Okay, so I imagine I'll shift gears for just a second. And I'll shift gears comedically.
Okay.
Because a lot of your act.
Oh, that was the first thing I said when he said he wanted a divorce. I was like, my set.
My God, where's my set? And here's what I know about you. You could have continued to do that act.
I do sometimes just
And-
because I
and-
don't feel like talking about it.
Because you could do that act because the jokes are funny
Yeah.
and you're in Milwaukee and nobody
Yeah.
knows your personal life in
No.
Milwaukee. So but I also know that you have a certain standard of truth
Yeah.
and honesty and that's going to move you to start writing different jokes.
Yes. This is where I'm struggling, and I would love to talk about this with a fellow comedian. I'm really
And Dino.
That might have been the funniest thing you'll say all night.
you win this round. I'm trying to figure out how to make divorce funny. I know I have to wait. I have tried workshopping jokes right now about it, and nobody wants to hear about your current divorce that you're in because we're not done yet. And
Okay, so it's not official.
no, it takes forever.
Because it's a divorce. Because when we split, we had a disillusion,
So we're doing that. We
which
We
I think
got
is
it-
an appropriate word because that's what you are. You're
disillusioned.
Yeah.
slightly disillusioned.
we got a mediator. So we did everything with the mediator.
Mediator.
Yeah, it's like one lawyer instead of two.
Oh, it's half the price too.
Yeah, it's cheaper. And with I don't know how old was your daughter?
Danielle was 5.5.
Okay, yeah. So he when we started this process around the same age. And then first of all, the mediator at the end told us we were the easiest couple that he'd
nice.
ever had.
That's a
We
good
got all
problem.
of the arguing done before we went to the
Sure.
mediator for free.
That's a good
'Cause
call.
I-
Okay, good. Yeah.
Which not all people can do that. Oh, we argued for months. And then when we finally got to like same page, we went to the mediator just because they know everything that needs to go in the documents. And they write it all out. And then after that, the mediator was like, well, now you still need your own lawyers. And we're like, what?
Why?
Why? You still need your own. Well, at least one of us has to have a lawyer to file. The mediator can't file.
Okay. All right.
So then, and he said, well, if one of you has a lawyer, the other one should have a lawyer. So it's like, okay, so
Things
I guess
have
my
changed since I got divorced.
It's such a
I
long
think it was just
process.
the guy that said, y'all ain't married anymore.
Yeah.
Good luck. Boom.
Well, the separation agreement is one document, and then the
Separation agreement.
and then the shared parenting document
Shared
is
parenting
Oh, that
document?
one's a lot of pages. It's great though. I do think that one really helped with our parenting because
There's some rules almost.
yeah, and it's not just like when he's at my house and when he's at Gabe's house. It's stuff that's in there like don't badmouth the other parent in front of the kid. Like it's nice to
Yeah, really.
Damn, that is the first thing I would do.
No, but it's nice to have that not only like in writing but like legally binding.
Yeah,
Like
you could hold him to it.
There was one of those franchise law firms in town when we got divorced called Hyatt Legal Services.
a hotel?
I'm Joel Hyatt.
Yeah.
Right? And
Really, yeah.
he was in a strip mall. They had an office in a strip mall, and that's where we went. One guy, one document. 6 months later, once we filed, we went to the courthouse and are you okay with it? Are you okay with it? Gaveled down, and off we went to
Why
lunch.
is everything so much more complicated?
I don't know,
now?
but there was no what you can't say, child, whatever you just mentioned. Of course, it was the
Bad
late
mouthing.
80s.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
he
right.
gave us a template, and he was like, "This is what a lot of people put in it, and you can take out or you can put in whatever you want." And all that stuff was already in there, and so we were like, "Oh, well, we agree with all of this. Like, no, we shouldn't be bad mouthing each other in front of the child."
Does that include on stage? Like, could you work in a goof about him?
That's the thing. That is okay. So that is part of it with writing about the divorce, is because I don't want to be bad mouthing him on stage.
Okay, there's a delicate balance there.
Because I know someday my son will
see it.
Will see it. Yeah.
Right.
And also, I want to get along with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right now, we're getting along better with each other than either of us are with our lawyers.
So
It's-
that's interesting. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think
It's-
you're getting along so well now than because the lawyers seem to complicate things sometimes.
They do.
But you two are
God, what
getting
was that
along.
movie? It was like called
could
Divorce
pick-
or
pick
something.
one. There's-
With
Money Pit.
no, who plays oh God,
You're killing
War
us
of the
right now,
Roses,
Greg.
Robert
Michael
Redford?
Douglas?
No, it's a more contemporary one. And it was
War of the
Adam
Roses.
Driver. No,
War of
Adam
the Worlds?
Driver and
Oh, that one.
Sarah,
That's more
Jessica
recently.
Parker.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know
Which
at all.
one?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's,
Is it a
it's-
rom com?
They-
No, it's not a rom-com.
I think it was called Divorce.
It's
Might
called
be.
Divorce.
But-
It's called
yeah.
Divorce.
I
It was
have-
good. It
I
was
haven't-
really
Don't
good.
watch it.
Don't watch it. Don't
Because
watch it.
because the lawyers just like hype
Adam
everything,
Driver.
and they just start like, ugh.
Oh,
Well, and we even got our lawyers are not they're not super aggressive, but maybe that's part of the problem. They're just slow, and it's our affidavits keep timing out essentially, where they're like, "Oh, you have to fill these all out again because these numbers are old now," and so then we get to go back through
What
all of our
numbers.
Oh well, we have to, because of we have separate accounts and we have
Okay,
joint
I
accounts
gotcha.
and
All
we
right.
have insurance policies and things like that. All those numbers have to be in there and they have to be current when you file.
Gotcha.
So if the process takes too long, then they're like, well, you need to fill these out again. It's like
So I
we
get
gotta
it.
charge you
I
for
get
another
it.
it's
hour.
been a year. Yeah, it's long. It's a long process.
So I think, and not that I say I know how your mind works. I don't know how any comics mind works personally, but I know that you possess the creativity and the wit. So maybe the direction to go with divorce is it's what I've always said about the stand-up that I continue to write through the years. I make it very self-deprecating. If I make it about myself, then I'm only beholden to me. How it's affected me. What am I doing? What I can't do since the divorce, or what I have done since the divorce. Not anything bad or begrudging to the partner. Even
Yeah.
though in my earlier stand-up years, I would talk about being divorced, and I did. I had jokes about my ex-wife. I did.
Is that low-hanging fruit that the real comedians talking about? Is it easy to pick on like an ex or somebody you're at odds with?
I think maybe that's part of it. I think part of what makes people uncomfortable is that it's current. They don't want to hear about it now. When I say like I'm getting divorced, they're like, "Ooh, maybe you should go home."
I'm getting divorced. Maybe what? I mean, is that you're out there more than I am, comedically speaking. Have they gotten that judgmental? When I say
know.
I'm currently going through divorce, and they go, "Ooh, you can't talk about it."
No, they don't say that, but it's just I can feel the crowd tense up. You can feel that. Like if somebody gets on stage and they're like, "I have cancer," it's like,
okay.
Whereas if you say like,
Tignataro.
"I had cancer," people are like, "Oh, good for you." Like they're kind of do that with divorce too. Like if it's over.
So if you're saying I'm going through a divorce, they go, "Ooh," but if you say I just got divorced, yay,
Yes.
and everything's great, then
Precisely,
Okay.
yeah.
So there's a time you think that you have to.
Well, I mean,
You
that's
could
what
lie
they
about
say.
it like your wedding.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, that's what they. I mean, they say comedy is tragedy plus time, right? Yeah. So there just hasn't been enough.
So you're going to be divorced by the comedy fest?
I hope so.
That would be your time.
It has taken way too long.
So you're banking it. You're banking jokes. You're banking jokes.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
I'm writing a lot, but there definitely have been shows where I just do the old set with all the marriage material. I talk about myself as being currently married. It cuts down on a lot of people hitting on me after the show.
That's good.
And then, some people are like, "How can you not wear your ring?" I'm like, oh.
Too observant.
Too observant.
Too observant. People way
Too
too observant.
observant.
Yeah.
That's any of your business. I'm allergic to gold.
Right.
Yeah.
Get
That's
Although I also this is the one joke that I have done about it that does get laughs is that I didn't know how to start telling people, and so I took my ring off, hoping that people would notice and comment on it. Like, who is gonna comment on like I see you're not wearing your wedding ring anymore? Where in my mind was I was like, this will be a conversation starter.
Those that know that you're talking about the people that knew you had a wedding ring, and now all of a sudden
like
you're
at
not.
work.
Like,
Yeah.
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 Nobody said anything.
Nobody noticed.
Nobody noticed.
Either nobody noticed or they
So-
didn't say anything.
Or it was a really small ring.
Or was it? It was.
Ouch.
It was a small ring, but it was a beautiful ring. I
Beautiful
will
ring.
really, really miss that ring.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So you don't get to keep it?
No, it's a family heirloom.
That makes
Of
sense.
course it is.
Yeah.
That's all right.
She's not allowed to badmouth the ring.
That's
either.
all right. You're a good person.
No, well, no, but I did appreciate that he did that because I don't want to say I'm anti-diamond, but I'm kind of anti-diamond industry. And so when he proposed and he opened it and I saw that it was diamonds, the first thing he said, he goes, "It was my Aunt Kathy's ring." And like this relief came over me. I was like, he didn't
Only
spend
10
money on a
people died
diamond.
getting this off the ground.
Well, they died hundreds of years
That's
ago.
true.
You know, 'cause it's
World War II.
I have
Yeah.
a limit. If they died hundreds of years ago,
they would
I'm
already
okay.
they would be dead by now anyway.
Yeah.
Like it's not like they did.
I can't accept a diamond if there's current death involved.
I just,
but
like-
hundreds of years ago,
we're good.
It just bothers me that there's people out there like that are
No, you're right.
like vegans, like meat is murder with these giant rings that are
Right.
like, you know how many people died? I don't know, it just bothers me.
Which let me shift gears for a second. You said vegan. What are you doing? You're like you were never out of shape, in my opinion.
Oh, well, thank you. We talked about this last time.
we?
Stress. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Stress.
It's all stress.
It's all stress.
Yeah.
How do I get in on that?
Get a divorce.
You want to get married and divorced?
No, I don't. I don't.
You're too laid back, Dino.
Yeah,
No.
too laid back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it all stress, or is it just are you doing other things to?
I mean, I'm taking care of myself a little bit better in terms of what I'm eating and things like that. But
You're not drinking.
I'm not drinking. Yeah, when people ask, they're like, "How do you look so young?" Because people tell me I look young for my age. I'm like, "Well, I don't drink alcohol," and they're like, "Oh." I'm like, "I don't smoke cigarettes or anything." I'm like, "Oh," and then I'm like, "I don't drink coffee," and then they get visibly angry.
Okay, that's like
Because that's the one. That's
the
the one.
first-
They're like, "Well, I'm not doing that."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. All right, what are you? You're just insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I could live completely. I mean, I could live without. I don't drink as much as I used to.
Yeah, drop one.
Drop one?
You
Yeah,
have to-
okay,
Coffee,
if you have to-
cigarettes or whiskey.
if
right
you have
now.
to drop one of those, which one would you drop?
I drop whiskey.
Really?
Wow.
Like all alcohol though.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? No, you know what? I should try to drop cigarettes.
Yeah.
I should try because that would make my mother happy.
Yeah.
Because I got in an argument with my mother on the phone. My mother just turned 88 years of age on July 7th, and she lies. My mother lies, not about her age, but about the things that she's supposed to be doing. She's supposed to be doing her physical therapy on a regular basis, and she almost hung up on me. she because I called her. I didn't say liar. I said you're such a fibber. I tried to lessen it a little bit.
That's a good word. I like that one.
Good word.
I am so sick and tired of my children calling me a liar. And I go, then, and of course, I didn't help my. I'm going to stop lying. Stop lying about not doing your exercises. She goes, "Are you going to quit smoking?" She said. So she threw down the gauntlet. I said, "Ma, if you could prove to me that you were doing your exercises every day, I swear to God, because I would never lie to you, I would try to quit smoking as well." And it was like silent because
She's like, what brand do you smoke?
because she knew she couldn't close. She couldn't close the deal. It's like she was thinking that far ahead. Like, oh, God damn it, he's calling my bluff. He's calling my bluff. So probably smoking, coffee. No, I need the coffee.
Yeah. How much coffee do you drink?
I could drink a cup of coffee at 11:30 tonight and go to bed at 12:30 with no problem. I love coffee. I love the taste of it. I love the different flavors and brands. Not like Chip. Chip is the coffee connoisseur of the group. Chip.
Thank you. Yes.
Chip travels everywhere for coffee.
Yeah.
Different coffee shops.
Are you going to the coffee festival?
Is there a coffee festival?
There is this. Okay, so plug time.
How did you not know about
Plug
the coffee
time.
festival?
That's a good
Columbus
question.
Underground, who's producing the Columbus Comedy Festival, also puts on an annual coffee festival.
It's great.
Go
I'd
to
go to that.
columbusunderground.com, I think. Is
I
that
think so.
everything?
Close enough.
I don't work for them.
Columbus
I'm not producing the festival. I'm just on it.
Yeah, they have a coffee festival, and it's like the one of it. That is an annual festival. That's
Yes,
been going on
the
for a while.
coffee festival. Yes,
Yeah, and
it's huge.
It gets bigger and bigger.
Yes.
Right.
I'll go to that and shoot some content.
Yeah,
you go.
you love
Yeah.
coffee, but no, I couldn't do without coffee. I have to have it in
Do
the
you have
morning.
something other than the Keurig? Do you
What?
have like a nice pot?
I've got like.
Are you
I've-
kidding?
I've got
You're
like
kidding, right? You're
7
joking.
different ways to make coffee in this house. Yeah, I can do it on I can make Greek coffee. I can make French press. I can make espresso. I can espresso, the old-fashioned way, Italian
Okay.
coffee.
Name another country.
Yeah, I have espresso, French press, and pour over.
Oh,
And
pour over.
Pour over's the daily coffee.
I don't have the pour over.
I just have a machine.
It looks like a.
I have an old percolator on the stove.
Oh,
like my
nice.
grandmother
wow.
used
Do you
to
still
do.
use it?
Awesome.
Yeah, my grandmother used to make coffee that way. You can see the little brown liquid bubbling up inside the little glass thing. You knew it was coffee time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you put anything in your coffee? Or is it just black?
Mostly black,
Okay.
unless I'm at a diner.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And this
Yep,
is
yep.
this is the cinematic part of me. If I'm in a diner and I'm
gotta-
sitting in a real diner with a
Yep.
coffee that's on
Like
a plate,
Beachwall Diner.
Yeah.
You've been to Beachwall Diner? Yeah, that's
Beachwall
like a real
Diner,
diner.
George's.
It's a
right.
real yeah,
George's,
It's a
Beachwall,
real
love
diner.
George's.
Yeah.
Coffee that's on a plate and a spoon, and I'm conversing with Nickey Winkelman, and she's sitting across from me. I feel that cinematically, I got to pour a little cream, put a little sugar.
from the saucer.
Yeah,
you
from
know,
the
little
Yes,
pour-
you get a little-
and
yes,
I gotta
absolutely.
stir it and talk about it. When
Yeah.
I'm in New York, I always drink the coffee regular, which is just coffee with cream, and I do that. But that's when if I'm in a
Those
diner.
sound effects.
But if
Oh,
I'm
it's
at
the diner
home-
sound effects.
If I'm at home, it's black. If I'm at home, it's black. But in a diner, I like the motion.
But never
and-
sugar.
Yeah, some sugar too.
Some
in
sugar?
the diner.
At the diner, but not at home.
No.
So then that's not as far as weight goes, coffee's not an issue.
No,
though.
coffee. If I could drink coffee,
It's something
all
people
day
who like
long.
drink like Starbucks every day. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Those rich people.
Yeah. Also, how are they affording
I
that?
do not know.
Yeah, they say if you cut out your Starbucks every day, and you'll save X amount of money.
My wife has been living a secret life. Talking about divorce. No, kidding. She's got this app.
Yo.
So we go to Starbucks and she has this app and she had it all dialed in. She had her secret recipe and she had ordered it and then she even paid with her phone. And I was like, I had no idea you could even do this. Like,
Wow.
How did you do all that?
I have one of those for Wendy's.
There you go.
You have a Wendy's.
There's
app?
a Wendy's app. Yeah.
There's a Wendy's
My
app.
kid loves Wendy's. It's like yeah, and it's well, even though they used to have like a sunroom and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, he likes to eat.
I like
in
Wendy's.
The,
I
in
think
the fast food restaurant.
the Dave's Double is still my go-to
Yeah.
drive-through burger.
I don't know. This is an unpopular opinion, but my favorite fast food, hands down, Burger King.
Wow.
Why is that unpopular?
I don't know. So some people think I've had people tell me that I am trash for like
Burger
Love a good Whopper.
Flame broiled.
All
That
that did was
is-
made me lean into it harder. Yeah.
That is
Because it reminds you of like a barbecue when you were a kid. It's the flame broiled.
Right.
that
I
is
don't
some
know, I
fast
like
food
it.
shaming right there.
That's what I think too. And if you're gonna go inside to eat in any fast food restaurant, is the most fun to eat inside of a Burger King because they have crowns on all of the tables.
There you
right.
go.
Yeah,
they have
do.
that.
I don't know if you.
Did
yeah.
your son get the crown, or do you get
Oh,
the crown?
well, we both have to wear
both
them.
wear the
Yes,
crown.
and
Sure.
then we have to take them home, and so now there's like a collection of
Collection of crowns.
A collection of my shame of how many times I've been to
We
Burger
go
King
to
with my
Burger
kid. Yeah, we got to cut down on these crowns. Yeah, but he loves it. He loves it.
We were just talking about this last week about the what drive-through food
Just
actually
fast food
looks like
Yeah.
as advertised when you get it. And I picked Arby's because I went to Arby's for the first time in forever, and I got
A good looking Sammy.
their chicken sandwich, and it was like it was massive, it was huge,
Yeah?
it was deliciously wonderful, and looked so appetizing. And it was 2 for $6. I'm like, I can't eat 2 of these.
Right.
I did, but
2
I
for
couldn't.
$6. That's a good deal.
It was a
Oh,
good
yeah.
deal.
It's like $40 when I go to McDonald's now. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Wendy's is your go-to, but Burger
no,
King.
well,
is,
no, Burger King's my go-to.
but Wendy's for your son.
Wendy's is his favorite, and I think, I mean, you know, kids, they like the toy.
How do you feel about the AI drive-through
I like it.
interaction? Have you done that yet?
Oh yeah, I'm not much of a fan of anything AI. Right
Me
now.
either, but I do like
I'm
that.
becoming crotchety, but
That-
I don't like
it has
it.
its place, and its place is at the drive-through because that seems to have gotten it right every time. I don't like it creatively speaking. I
Yeah.
will fight it
taking
till
orders.
Right.
my dying
Is that
day.
only at
It
Wendy's?
replacing visual artists is really
Yes,
upsetting.
it's horrible that
But,
way.
yeah.
White Castle
But as
has
far
it.
as getting my burger right and my
Right.
order through the drive-through, it's doing fine. That chip, that's not invasive at all.
The hell, dude?
I want to do something
Wait,
different.
do I look good?
Chip,
Awesome.
you look
awesome.
great.
If I don't delete
For those
it.
of you who are just listening and not watching, Chip was just intrusively putting a phone everywhere.
That's right. Do they still forget napkins?
Everywhere.
Do they still forget napkins? The AI though.
You gotta, I don't know.
That pisses me
I'm
off.
very
Good point.
indecisive, so I'll be like, "Wait, I want this. Wait, can you add this?" And then it just totally fucks them up. They like explode.
I guess I haven't experienced this.
Wendy's has the AI.
Well,
couple
I
of
think it's
locations.
because I have the Wendy's app. So
you
I
need
order,
to- yeah.
I order on the app, and then
You're
when I
getting it
get
all
to
right.
the window,
It's just there.
like there's a robot that greets me, and I say I have a mobile order, and then it says please pull ahead.
Yeah. Us commoners just have
That's
to
good.
tell
Yeah,
the AI
yeah.
what we want.
I don't have the app because I don't.
Believe in him.
My wife has the Starbucks app.
I don't know
apparently.
how. I don't
know
know
how to
I'm
use them?
Stupid. No.
Well, you get points, and then you get savings.
Yeah.
And the reason they do that is so that they try
get
to
you more.
convince you to order more because you're like, well, I gotta rack up these points. But I don't know.
The only
My
place I
mind
know
does
that
not
I
work
have
that way.
points is at Walgreens.
Speedway for me.
I have Walgreens points,
You
and
have
they're not even
Walgreens
my
points?
points. They're my mother's points because I put my mother's number in. My mother,
yeah.
my mother probably
I do that at Kroger.
Has no idea how many Walgreens points she has.
Yes, I
I
do
like
that
it.
at Kroger. My mom and I share a Kroger card by still using.
Yeah.
It's not even her current phone number. We just kept using her old phone number.
From
So we
your
could be
childhood
sharing
home.
points with another person that
went-
now
I
has
went to
that number. We
Walgreens
don't know.
and I bought,
They're
like-
like, where are all my points going?
40, close to $50 worth of stuff at Walgreens, just stuff that I needed. And the guy said, "You want to pay for this with your Walgreens points?" I go, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, well, you have enough to pay for all this with your Walgreens points." I go, "I do."
Yeah.
And I went, nah, let it ride.
Let it ride. It's
Let
like
mom
gambling.
wander into Walgreens one day and just be so happy.
That's nice.
And then she'll never know. She went, oh, she'll never know it was her son.
Right. Or she'll fib to you about it.
Yeah, she'll lie to me about it. Yeah.
Costs so much.
Well, the other thing that happened since the last time I was here is I got a real person job.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have like a corporate job that I'm not even going to say where I
Okay,
work
this is
because
good. I'm glad- you don't want to say where you work?
No, I don't think it's appropriate.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because that leads into my next questions. But tell me about
Okay.
the job.
So-
or, I mean, as much as you can.
Well, what I was going to say was that like now that I have this corporate job, I'm traveling sometimes for work, and so now I'm also getting hotel points.
Ooh.
And they let us keep our miles too. And I never had like frequent flyer mile numbers because I was
right.
like, I'm not flying enough for this to ever mean anything. And then when I started working, they were like, oh, you gotta sign up for the miles. And I was like, really? And now I'm like, oh, now I'm saving miles and getting hotel points, and yeah, it's pretty fun.
And getting material for your act.
Oh, well, from traveling
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
or from work. Here's the other thing. So when I started this job, when I started looking for jobs, also I was like, wanted to try and keep comedy and my professional life separate. So I go by Nicole at work, but it doesn't take long for people to find out who I am, right?
Stuff. It doesn't take long for people to find out that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
They wear glasses at work, right?
Nicole is Nickey
I just wear glasses like I'm Clark Kent. The Winkelmans are pretty like
Yeah.
Well, and also with my immediate
That's funny.
coworkers, I wasn't keeping it a secret that I'm a comedian. I was like, I invited them to shows pretty quickly. But like, there's 1,000 people that work in this building. I'm not, advertising it to everybody. But then there's one day that I go down to another department. And they're like, "Hey, we found out you're a comedian." I was like, "Oh no."
Oh boy.
He goes, "Yeah, we listened to the podcast that you were on," and I was like, "What podcast?" Which one? I was like, "Which one?" And he goes, "The color of my pee."
Color of my pee.
That was the name of that one.
That was the name of the last episode. That was yes. This sitting right here.
That's me.
Sitting right here. You asked me the color of my urine, and I answered you, and then you made it. But at the time, I was like, I don't give a shit. Like,
it was in the moment. And
and I didn't care because
and the podcast has gotten over from the time it's gotten a lot of listens.
But I didn't expect to have a corporate job at that point when I was here.
Right.
And so now I'm like, just this one, can you just title like respectable coworker
or
something?
I promise.
Nickey
Winkelman,
Winkelman,
this
respectable
title
coworker.
will be above board. Above board. Who would have thought that many years ago that the color of my pee would come back to haunt you?
So what do they think
My
about
mom
the
always
color
says
of your
that.
pee?
And are they?
No,
do
they think I'm a
follow and
respectable
subscribe?
coworker.
Respectable coworker.
That's where we're leaving this. We're not going to talk about my urine anymore.
No, we're not.
No, but
that is funny.
it
That
is
was,
funny,
And I'm sorry,
yeah.
that was a great title for a podcast.
it was a great title. It got a lot of views. It haunts me every day.
Our mutual friend Sarah. Remember the
Yeah.
title of hers?
Oh yeah, and now she's a nurse.
Remember the title of her podcast? I do.
A vagina
My
or something.
vagina is a bounce house.
Yeah.
So, color of my pee compared to my vagina is a bounce
good
house.
I mean, I don't
They
know.
pale in comparison.
Respectable coworker. I'm just going to say it enough times that you make it the title.
I had a
Yes,
corporate
I'll
job.
make-
numbers
I
are gonna be
I
great.
promise you, a respectable
Whatever it is.
title.
Yeah,
I had a corporate job once at years ago when I first moved back to Ohio, and it was at a software company. And I go by Charles as my name.
I'm going to start calling you
Right?
Charles.
And then my friends and family call me Chip. And one day, somehow it slipped out that I was Chip or something, and I'm on my computer and I'm doing something, and then I hear commotion, and I look out, I'm looking around, what's going on? I look over and I see all these heads sticking out of the cubicle looking at me like, are you in this movie? And they like pulled up all this YouTube shit of this movie I was at. Yeah, Bullet Head
They
and all
discovered
this.
that Clark Kent was Superman.
and they're like,
you
yeah,
had
then
your
they're
Clark
like
Kent
looking at me.
moment. You had
Yeah.
your Bruce Wayne moment.
Yeah.
Like, Chip.
Wait till they find out I was in Killer Raccoons 2.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you didn't know that? Yeah, Travis Irvine's
Yeah,
movie.
Travis
Nice.
And
Which
I'm
is great.
credited as pregnant hot lady, I think is what
Nice.
yeah.
Well, they could've named
Typecasting
you.
again.
Right? Yeah. Oh, I still can't believe that I did that. I was 7 months pregnant. They were shooting on some train yard out in the middle of nowhere. I even called my doctor and he was like, "This is not a good idea."
Not
And
a
I was
good
like,
idea.
I'm going anyway. It was like in winter time. It was snow outside. Like, it was the worst choice. But okay.
I'm sure Travis had your best interest at heart.
I was
with
like,
it.
"Travis, you ready to deliver a baby?" And
Yeah, Travis has been on the podcast a couple times
Yeah.
as well.
No,
He's a
he's
good
great.
dude. He's a good
I
dude.
saw him
And
doing
Killer
stuff at
Raccoons too.
35.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Killer Raccoons too. He's working on another one as we
Killer
speak.
Raccoons 3.
I don't know if it's Killer Raccoons 3, but I know he's working on another project.
another
He's
one.
always
Yeah,
working.
he
The
is,
guy's-
he is.
That guy's always thinking, always moving forward with something.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, I'll do another quick plug. Travis and I are going to be doing a show together September 6th. We every month at the Attic Comedy Club, they do roast battles, Friday night
yeah,
fights,
yeah.
the roast battles. And I turned 40 on September 7th.
Get
so
out.
yeah,
See,
so
I
I know.
wasn't going to be rude and ask you where you're at in the world
Yeah.
of ages because I don't remember, and I should because I'm your comedy father, but I don't. So you're going to
40. I'm turning 40. I know. Thank you. I look great, right? No coffee. No.
No coffee, no alcohol, no cigarettes. No fun.
No husband.
No husband. That
Maybe
right
that's
there.
it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so Ian Miller, who hosts those shows, we're gonna do a little roast of Nickey Winkelman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
nice.
and it will still be some battles, but
And
yeah,
those
Travis
have
will be on the
become
show
very
too.
popular, right?
Yes, I was.
Mike Larson did one recently, right?
Oh my gosh, his was the best one that I've seen. It was him and Hannah Rome's, and it was every joke was so well written. It was really good. It was impossible to pick a winner. I think they called it a tie.
They called it a tie. They went
there
after
was
each
one,
other.
There was one that evening that was called a tie. I feel like it was that
Because
one.
I saw his Instagram post, and it was like, the old guy going against he was kind of like
Oh, it was,
it was
so
kind of like
good.
conceding ahead of time, if you will,
Right.
but he was going to give it
Yeah.
his best shot. But I know Larson's mind is he's smart, he's witty, he's
Yeah.
funny.
What was great is that like a lot of these comics know each other, and so they'll make digs at each other that maybe the audience doesn't quite pick up on because it's inside baseball. you know?
Right.
But they wrote their jokes so well that it was like, I don't remember any of the specifics. It was like, here's a thing about Mike, and then joke about that thing. Like they were all very well set up. So it was like, here's a thing
So
about
they go
Hannah.
back and forth.
Yeah,
Joke.
here's the thing about Hannah. Joke about that thing. So
They
you
go back and forth,
yes.
back and forth for how long?
5 rounds.
5 rounds. So
Maybe
is,
5
is
rounds.
is each joke around, or is it like
Each joke is a round.
each joke is around? So Hannah does a joke about Mike.
Yeah.
Mike does a joke about Hannah. Round
Yeah,
one.
sometimes there's several laughs in each thing. Like every round can be anywhere, I think it's like up to a certain amount of time. I'd have to ask Ian what
So now you and Travis will do one of these.
Well, so they're
You-
going to
you-
be roasting me. So I do these shows every month, but I'm never battling. I'm one of the judges.
You're one of the judges. So
Yeah.
Okay, so
She's the Paula Poundstone.
She's a,
I like
Yeah.
to think of myself as the Simon Cowell.
the Simon
Yeah.
Cowell. So they're going to be so you're not going to be competing.
There
She's
will
getting
be
roasted.
there will be some battles where they're roasting each other, and then there will be some people roasting me for my 40th birthday.
For your
Travis
40th
will be
bir-
roasting me. Yeah.
Ready for 40th birthday. And so that's what's taking place. And you're one of the judges during the comedy roast on a regular basis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been doing it almost every Friday. It's monthly. It's almost every month.
So
on-
is that difficult?
It's fun. Ian Miller, who was he had asked me to do it several times, and I don't know, I couldn't, or I was like,
Do you have to
I
be
didn't know if I
funny?
would be good at it.
Do you have to be funny as a
You
judge
do.
as
You
well?
do. You don't have to, but the show is better if you are.
Right.
We are giving our feedback into a microphone.
Gotcha.
It's not
Okay.
like you're just in the
Okay,
back
got
scoring it. You're on the sides of the stage.
Gotcha. You're part of the show.
Yes, but what's great is that while they're battling, if somebody says something, I'm like, oh, I would have said this next. I get to say that.
You get to say that.
Yes, where as a comic, when you're watching
Sure.
comedy, you're like, oh, he could have taken it this direction. It would've been funny.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
now I
Add
get
onto
to,
it.
to do
Yeah.
that. Yeah, or I just get to completely destroy their hopes and dreams by telling them how awful they were, and the audience loves it. If they get done and I'm like, well, that was just both of you were awful. The audience just loves it. They're there for the.
They're there for failure.
Oh, they're there for mean. They want you to be mean. Yeah. Whenever
I'm following the Attic
Attic
Columbus
Comedy
C-
Club, and then there's-
the Attic Comedy C Bus.
that's yes, and then there's one for the roast battles too.
Okay.
Yeah.
My son lives just across the street from the Attic.
Oh, okay.
Does he go?
You should go to this thing.
The attic? He's right across the street.
I don't know.
Tell them about it.
Can you
The
give
Attic
viewers
Roasting
his social
Championship.
security number now too?
So my question, it's interesting that you brought up this other job and you're traveling and getting the miles and so forth and so on. I don't know if this was covered in the first podcast. I won't mention the title anymore. But is that a conflict? I mean, you've got this great job and you still are finding time to do what you love,
Yeah.
which is stand up.
Yeah.
So, do you sometimes sit back now that you're turning 40, which is smack dab in the middle of life, literally?
Yeah.
Do you sometimes question the battle of the two and which one will ultimately win out, and which one do you want to ultimately win out?
Honestly, the only time that I question it is not when I'm at my day job. It's when I'm at shows and comics ask me, especially if I'm at the Funny Bone and because I'm in rotation now at the Funny Bone to host and feature. And if I'm featuring and I'm talking to the headliner and they're like, oh, where else are you? Like, they're kind of, especially if they think that I'm funny and they're like, oh, you gotta meet this person, or I'd love to have you out here or whatever, and I get these kind of glimmers of possibility.
Sure.
That's when I second guess it. But when I'm sitting alone by myself, I love where I'm at. I like the stability of my job.
Right.
I actually love my job, and I'm not just saying that because
Okay,
they,
that's good.
they obviously
That's
listen
good.
to your podcast
Respectable
now.
coworker.
Respectful coworker. No, but I really do love my job. This is
That's great.
It's the first day job that I really love. I love the people I work with.
Not an ends to a means or
No,
means
I
to an end.
really
as they
love
say.
it. It's the
Yeah.
people, and I feel appreciated. I work hard, and I actually feel appreciated.
That's
for
great.
it. Yeah. And I get some miles every now and then, you know. But yeah, the traveling is also fun. I've never done that before. I'd never traveled for work, so it's great. I really love the job, and I like that there's no pressure of when am I going to get my next gig. I can do comedy on my own terms. If someone's like, hey, do you want to do my 11 p.m. show at this, basement?
Right.
Whatever. Yeah. We'll pay you $3 and it's an 8-hour drive. I can, that's an exaggeration, but I can say no to those easily without thinking like, oh, I have to hustle or have
So
to
you
take
can
every
do the
gig.
gigs that you want to do,
Right. Yeah.
and not that you have to do.
Right.
It's like the love of the game type of
Yeah,
situation.
that's a
You're doing it
Yeah.
'cause you love
huge
it,
way.
right?
I do it because I
It's
love
an
it.
interesting question.
I think some people get, I don't know, if like maybe envious because I am getting opportunities at the Funny Bone to open and feature, and some people are like, oh, you're not even trying to make it, like I'm taking their spots or whatever.
Okay,
Like, well, no.
you know
but
what I'm
also,
gonna say to that?
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah. But also, like, comedy is very different. It used to be that to become a headliner, you started hosting.
Yes.
Then you've moved up to feature, and then you moved up to headliner.
That was the way it was when I was coming up.
Now
through
it's
the
like,
ranks. Yeah.
if you're a good host, you're never getting out of that spot. I mean,
You know what?
Yeah,
You
but
say
it's
that now,
yeah.
but that was one of the. I had to fight even back. I started
Yeah.
doing it back in the late '80s, and I was an excellent host.
yes, but hosting is a different beast as part of it. Yeah.
It is, and if you're because I believed I had the show business mentality that a good host needs to set the table.
Yes.
So I was an excellent host, and it took me
Yes.
a minute to like. I'd like to move it to feature, man, but you're like the best damn host we ever
I
had.
know. Yeah.
And it does. It sets the table. If you convince the audience up front that if I'm funny, you like me, you're gonna love the rest of the show. If
Yes.
the host sucks, then the audience is like, well, I hope the next guy's okay.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have always said that hosting is not about having a good set, it's about having a good show.
Yes.
And so you're setting up the start of the show.
Right.
You can't be selfish about it. You can't be out there like, I want to have a good set or I want to try out new material. I'm never trying out new material in a hosting set. I might throw a new joke here or there in a feature set,
Right.
but I'm not doing that in a.
So, like I'm hosting hosting the show at the comedy festival, and I've talked to a couple people like, oh, you're just hosting, you're not going to do like a whole set. I'm like, this is perfect for me.
More important.
I'm not doing
Yeah.
this on a regular basis anymore. This is not how I make my living anymore. I still have love for it, et cetera, but I love being I'm a good host.
You
I will
are,
be a good
yes.
host. I will set a nice table for whoever I'm working with, which I can't recall at the moment, to be perfectly honest with you. But I will set
Yeah.
a nice table for what I call the kids.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, Nickey Winkelman, without a shadow of a doubt, that will be the oldest person at that comedy festival. Think about it.
I have to think.
You have to think.
How old are you now?
That's-
How old are you?
41.
Yeah.
Oh.
52.
How old are you?
Well, I call you my comedy daughter.
I know.
And I would not say that just unless I could actually back it up. I'm 65.
65. I don't. Is Mike Larson going to be there?
I don't know. Is he? I might be. I think he's younger than me.
Is he? I don't know.
I think he is.
I'm
he
terrible.
acts older than
I'm
me.
terrible at guessing people's age.
Yeah,
So I could never be one of those people at the fair.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody would win prizes.
65. 65.
65.
Friday the
65 is good.
16th, by the way, Dino,
Is that when I'm there?
you're hosting
Friday the
at
16th?
the Key.
At the Key.
10
Friday the
p.m.
16th. And when are you working?
I am Wednesday the 14th.
When is it? 14th.
Wednesday the 14th. Also at the Key. and I'm on an all-female showcase.
Oh, nice.
And then Saturday, the 17th,
Oh, wait a minute,
also
you have
at the Key.
2 gigs at the festival?
I do. I have
Kidding.
2.
I'm kidding.
I'm opening for Sam J, and I'm very excited to open for Sam
That's
J.
cool.
Yeah. I'm very excited, at least just to meet her.
And you're going to open? So are you hosting?
I'm hosting,
You're
yeah.
hosting.
Yeah.
So you once again, you will set the good table.
Yes, yeah.
Did you say where that was?
It's also at the Key.
At the Key. The Key. We were there for an event with the radio station when we were gainfully employed at the radio station.
Yeah.
They
spend all their money there, and then they're like, sorry,
It's a big place.
It is. It's a cool space too. There's a lot of different spaces. I've done a Don't Tell comedy show at the Key that was outside in the alley, like between the Key and the other building. And when I saw it, I was like, "How is this going to go?" It was great. It was so much fun. Well, I mean, but Don't Tell comedy does.
They go to weird places.
They
and
do.
fun
They go to
places,
weird places,
but
and the
they do
audience
well.
is always on board.
It's like a
Yeah.
pop-up comedy
Well,
show.
yeah,
right?
because the audience doesn't know where they're going until the day of or day before.
So it's exciting. It's an adventure
yes,
for them.
and
yeah.
they don't know who's going to be on the show until they get there. So that's
Do
the
they
whole
buy
model.
tickets ahead of time, or you
They
just?
do.
Oh,
you
yeah, they
have
sell
to.
out, and they
You
sell
have-
out.
They do.
That's
Almost every
awesome.
show sells out.
They did one at the
Yeah.
Columbus Italian Club.
Oh, okay.
A while back, yeah.
They've done like coffee shops, eyeglass shops, rock climbing walls. Like, I mean, it's really anywhere. And the more absurd the venue is, I always feel like the better the show is, and the audience is just so on board. Because they're there for an adventure. You know, when you're buying the ticket that you don't know, you have no expectations of where you're going or who you're going to see. You just the kind of person that buys that ticket wants to have a good time. They're not like, oh, I'm going to see, Jerry Seinfeld. I hope he's still funny. You know what I mean? Like, there's those people that are like,
I always
he's
kill.
not
Who are
telling
these
the jokes
people?
I want.
Funny.
You know what I mean? Like, that's
Yeah,
I
were
feel
you
like-
ever funny in your life, and you're
Yes.
judging if Jerry Seinfeld is still
Well,
going to be funny?
It's
I'm
like
just
people making
saying
fun of
that
the
as like
Olympians
a.
messing
I'm
up.
just saying as an example. I was just picking any comedian.
I know,
off
but
my
that's a
head,
good one.
Yeah. You have expectations when you go see somebody that is famous or that you.
How do
was
you
okay.
feel? All right, I know you're struggling is the wrong word. You want to incorporate new material because your life is changing and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about where you're at right now, comedically speaking? Do you feel strong? Do you feel good? Do you feel like on any given day you can go out there and just kill it if given the opportunity?
Yeah.
So when people say
I
to
don't
you,
it changes from day to day.
yeah, because of what?
It changes from day to day because of everything I'm going through.
Because of everything- 'cause
yeah,
of the
divorce
mood of-
isn't final. We only just recently are living in different homes and got our son acclimated to that. And that I took 2 months off of taking any gigs because I wanted to focus on making sure that he was good with his new normal.
Good.
And he's amazing. He's so resilient. And he
Children
doesn't
are.
even know what divorce is. And, I think back when we were kids, it was like divorce was like this horrible thing that happened to a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we went in to tell his teacher that this was happening, because we wanted her to know before we told him, so in case he said anything at
Right.
school that she wasn't surprised. And we went in together. She said, first of all, I want to thank you for telling me this. Secondly, thank you for telling me together. That shows that, you guys are going to be good co-parents. And thirdly, you are the least complicated family situation I'm dealing with.
That's great. That's all good.
Yeah.
And kudos to your husband, soon to be ex-husband,
Yeah.
for being on board with that. Because let's
Oh,
be
yeah.
honest, there are numerous situations where that's not the case.
Everything we've done, the whole way we've gone about this was all with Flynn in mind. I do think that we tortured ourselves a little bit too long continuing to live together as long as we did, but I didn't want him to have to move twice.
Right.
So I'm still in the home, but we had to do a bunch of paperwork before he could buy a new home, and I had to buy him out for his half of the home. And so there was a lot of moving parts to him getting a new place, but he did buy a house. So rather than moving out into an apartment and moving again, we stayed living together, which was really rough for us.
Interesting.
It was rough for us, but I'm sure at the end of the day it was easier for
And
for our
eventually,
son. Yeah.
there will be material there that you can use.
Yes.
Different bedrooms.
Luckily, it's a big house.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
There will be suitable material that won't be disparaging
Yeah.
to your husband,
Yeah.
or to you, but that'll be honest.
Yes.
That'll be honest
Yeah.
and material that people can relate to. Like, oh yeah, remember?
Yeah.
I went. You'll be fine. You'll do it.
Yeah.
You'll do it.
We'll get there. When you were talking about, so when I'm thinking about how to write about this, because I'm always, listening to other comics and kind of studying what their approach is on things. And there's the first person perspective, and then there's the second person perspective. And I feel like the second person perspective might be better with this. So say the joke is like, I'm dating, and I was dating this guy, and he said this about himself. That's first person, right? But then I would say, like, you know how when you're dating someone and he says this to you and you think to yourself this, like you make them the main character.
Right.
I feel like if I say, like, you know how when you're getting divorced, or like,
Right.
you know what I mean? I feel like it softens it a little bit if it's
does.
not too personal.
It does. It's still relatable.
Right.
It's still relatable. It's still in the lane.
Yeah.
And you're right. It softens a little bit. They're not judging you or criticizing you. You're putting out a situation
Yes.
that maybe everybody, can identify with or has identified with.
Yeah.
Or I think you're on the right track.
Yeah. I was listening to Taylor Tomlinson. She does a lot of second person perspective in her stuff that I feel like it works really well with what she's presenting.
You still have that show?
Yes, she does. After
I
midnight,
haven't seen it. I don't watch a whole lot of
it's
TV.
okay. It's gotten better. It's gotten well. Yeah, I didn't think it
horrible.
was bad to start with. I understand the whole idea behind it was. I just didn't understand it was going to be what it was. I thought it was going to be another talk show.
Right. It's
Type
like a
of thing.
game. It's like an MTV game
Yeah,
show.
but
Yeah.
I didn't realize it wasn't. So once I got on board with that,
I love a game show. So.
they've got. What's your favorite game show?
Match Game.
Match Game.
Oh,
Yes. And is Jimmy
You like-
Fallon still doing because he brought back Match Game, didn't he?
I think
it was
so.
it Match Game or was it
Single
Password?
runs.
No, it was Password.
I
that
like
he brought
that.
back. I
Jimmy
don't
Fallon
remember.
brought back Password.
Password, which
Password.
I also love. Password.
Password.
Oh, I love
Match
Password.
Game-
But Match Game was my favorite.
With Gene
Which-
Rayburn?
Well, the ones that I grew
Original,
up with.
original,
Match Game.
yes,
Gene Rayburn with the
yes,
skinny
absolutely,
microphone.
yes. And Betty White was always so
Betty
funny.
White
Yeah.
and my favorite back in the day. Match Game is up there, but the original Hollywood Squares.
gonna say
Yes,
Hollywood
original
Squares.
The
Hollywood
original
Squares,
one
yeah.
with Paul
Paul
Lynn in the
Yeah.
middle, Rosemary, Jonathan Winters, Artie Johnson, Betty White.
Yeah.
Back then, hysterically funny, and they're bringing back Hollywood Squares.
Oh, they are.
Who's going to be center square?
I feel like every time they brought it back,
Betty
those
White.
never
I
been
know
good.
it's always
Oh,
like
no.
it's missing a chromosome
Yeah.
of some sort. It's missing a.
They're
funny
afraid to be
chromosome.
dirty. That's the problem.
I think
Drew
that's
Carey in the
part of
middle.
what I don't like about Family Feud anymore. Is it used to be like Family Feud was like real survey questions, and you were really
Right.
trying to find out the answers to them. And every now and then somebody would say something
Something funny.
accidentally
Yeah,
inappropriate.
yeah.
And now every single one of them is set up to get people
Yeah.
to say inappropriate
Steve Harvey
things.
just makes a what?
Yes, I know. And I love Steve Harvey. He's the perfect host for it. But yeah, after you watch enough of them, you're like, oh, this is kind of the same thing over and over.
What's that show where you like are famous for doing something and you have to try to get like?
What's my line?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they should do that.
They
What's
did
my
for a
line?
minute.
Bring it back. I think they did.
They
Try,
did it
every,
back
every,
2-3
they'll
years
bring
ago.
it.
Who was the one that-
Eventually, they'll
Truth or
bring
Consequences?
Everything.
No,
back.
what was the one where they had a real person and a fake person to tell the truth?
To tell the truth.
I loved
Yes,
To
that's
tell the
cool.
truth.
loved
To
that
tell the
show.
truth.
They
I
brought
love that
Double
show.
Dare back for a minute. on
Really?
Nick. Yeah.
Oh.
They were
That's
what?
the one they rebooted. Was
Double Dare.
Double Dare.
That's
Double
just
Dare.
I'm not
as
so
an
into-
elder
I thought you said-
millennial.
I thought you said Bubble Bear. I'm like, what the
Bubble
hell is
Bear.
Bubble
I'm just
Bear?
not so into like the physical game challenge game
No.
shows.
But when I was 9, it was awesome.
Yeah.
So if you had to,
Bubble
if
Bear.
if someone, and this is a tough question. At least I think it's a tough question. If someone said, choose your corporate job or your comedy job today,
Today, I'd take the corporate
You'd
job.
take the corporate
I
job.
would. Yeah, it would be really tough. I'd find another creative outlet, I think, but. If I have to choose, I'm getting the health insurance and
Yeah.
taking care of my kid.
steady
yeah.
money.
Today,
Pragmatic decision.
Steady money.
yeah, today. And I didn't like the stress. I don't like the stress of
and
like
here's why I think you made the right decision.
why.
Because you're a writer.
Yeah,
You have to write the stand-up.
yeah,
And if you write the stand-up, tells me that you're capable of also writing something else.
yeah.
And as long as you can write, as long as you can put pen to paper, or mind to keyboard, whatever the case might be.
Voice to voice recording.
Yeah, or whatever the
Sorry,
case,
right?
however you
Yeah.
want to do it. I'm very tactile. I have to.
Yeah. No,
write
I'm usually
everything out.
driving as I'm thinking of good jokes, and then I'm
But if you
like,
could
"Where's
do
that
that,
tape?" I still
I'm
use
mowing
one of
the
those
lawn.
little tape recorders.
Oh,
I
with
don't
the
usually.
actual cassettes?
No,
So-
I could be because my phone. I'm like, I don't remember how to record this. I'm like, "Where's that tape recorder?"
Yeah,
McDonald's
little
style.
handheld one, little
Yes.
micro cassettes.
Yeah,
Note
it's like
to
in my
self.
glove box.
Yeah, those are great. Those
Yeah.
are great. I think where you're at in life right now,
Yeah.
especially because you have to factor that in when you're making that decision today.
Yeah.
You have to factor in your son. You have to factor in where you're at in life.
Yeah.
So, but the one thing, even if I take the corporate job, the one thing they can't take away from me is that I am a creative person. That I am a
They
creative.
can't take away my little tape
No,
recorder.
they can't take away your little tape recorder. They can't take away your thoughts.
I
Can't
dare
take
them
away-
to pull me over.
Can't
while
take
I'm
away your humor
using it.
because your humor, if
Distracted
it doesn't show up on a stand up stage, it can show up in a screenplay. It can show up in a short story. It can show up
Yeah.
in a novel. It can show up in so many different ways. So you're never done.
Yeah,
with
you're never
that.
done. And I don't want it. Well, I mean, what do they say? The quickest way to hate your art is to start making money doing it or something like that.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? Yeah.
And then I love my art.
No, seriously.
That's
I
been a
mean,
good thing for me with this podcast is we're not working.
we not a dime.
Well, no.
over the years.
We're losing our job. It's like this is fun now. Like not that it wasn't before, but like I was doing it all day. Now it's like this is my creative outlet. This is
Yeah.
fun.
This podcast saved me during the pandemic,
sure.
without a doubt. I asked that question because I still struggle. I don't know if I've ever told this story on the podcast or not.
Oh,
Or not.
breaking news.
Maybe I did. If I did, I apologize.
I'll edit it out.
But it's when I first started at Sunny 95. And I came back and I said no to the job like 3 times. And I was at the Funny Bone the Monday before I started.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I know what you're talking about, but I won't.
I've told you the story, but I don't think I've told it on the podcast per se. I was there Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, Sunday night at the Funny Bone. And I was headlining at that time, so all the wheels
Yeah.
were greased and turning. You know
I
know
know.
where you're
I know
at.
that feeling, yeah.
You're working 45 weeks a year on the road, and now you're back home in your hometown of Columbus. And the guy I was working with, or supposed to start working with on Monday, comes to the show on Thursday, sees the show, killer show. Get off stage, he comes to the bar, and he says to me, "Don't do it." I go, "Don't do what?" He goes, "Don't come to work on Monday." I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "This is what you should be doing." This is September 1994. He goes, "This is what you should be doing. This is what you need to keep on doing. Don't take the job on Monday." And I'm like, dude, I just moved back from California. I moved all my shit. I'm in an apartment in
Yeah.
Clintonville. Just over. My daughter's excited. My 13-year-old daughter. What are you talking about? I'm going to be at work on Monday. He goes, I said what I wanted to say, and I went to work on Monday. But I'll be damned if that still,
Yeah.
if I would have gone that way instead of that way, and I have no regrets going
Right.
that way. The 27 years at Sunny 95, this house that I love, and that has entertained friends and guests and family for years and years and years, relationships that I can never replace and that I never would have had. I am so thankful for all of those things. But
You wonder about that other path.
wonder,
You could have
wonder
been
about
the
the
other
path.
Ray Romano.
No, it could have been.
Well, yeah.
There's some.
That's another story.
That's another story for another time. But yeah,
I'll tell you my quick story about the other path. So, 10 years ago, I was crossing the street and got hit by a car in the crosswalk. You probably know.
I know-
this
I know
story. You
parts
this-
of this
parts
story.
Of this story. I do a bit about it. It's a good bit.
It's
a good bit.
It's a really
it's
good
pinned
bit.
on her
It's
TikTok
pinned to
account.
it's pinned to my Instagram at Nickey Wink. That's NickeyWink. I was crossing the street and a car ran through the red light, and I had a broken leg and I had a sprained back. I was in pain for months. I was in like a leg brace for months. And I remember I was dating a guy at the time, so I was not with
Oh boy.
I'm not with my now whatever ex-husband.
ex-husband.
Yes, I was with a different boyfriend at the time, and I went home he picked me up from the hospital and I went home and I was crying because I said I went to a different bank. So I was at work and I had to make a deposit for work. And I said, I went to a different bank. I said, I usually go to this bank on Main Street, but instead I went to the bank downtown because my boss kept saying it's closer. So I was like, I should have just gone to that other bank. And without any thought or any hesitation or anything, he immediately says, you could have gone to that other bank and been hit by a car that killed you.
Wow.
It's like in Mighty Ducks, where he's like, imagine if you would have hit the puck a quarter of an inch the other way and would have missed completely.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Both of you were thinking the Mighty Ducks? Okay. No, I get that.
Could have
And-
just quoted Mighty Ducks and
so-
made this conversation shorter.
But
But that's what you got to think about when you look back. Every time now that I'm like, oh, I should have taken this path instead of this path. I'm like, I remember him saying that.
and it had an impact.
It did, yeah.
I mean, when I had left junior college, I got an open invitation at Central Florida to be a preferred walk-on in
For
basketball.
basketball.
And at the time, I was engaged, and I said, "No, I'm gonna quit playing basketball." But I broke up with this woman like a month later, and I tried to get back on the team. I couldn't do it. But if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have come to Columbus to go to Ohio State. I wouldn't have met Jen.
Right.
I would not have Kirk as a son.
Yeah.
Completely different life.
Right. Yeah.
It's like I said, isn't
yeah.
that an interesting part of the human condition? Like we sit here and we say, no regrets, no regrets, no regrets. And yet,
We still what if?
what if?
But because it's not in the human condition to picture a what if that's bad. You don't think back on if then it's easy if you're like, oh man, I'm so glad I didn't do that. Like I'm so glad I didn't, go to New York and on 9/11. You know what I mean? Like it's like that's
No,
easy.
and
Sorry
I
to
think, I think about all the comedians that
Right.
were where I was at that point in time, and there were a ton of way more talented people than myself at that particular point. Granted, I was doing good work, and I think about, well, I can name 3, maybe 4
Yeah.
that prospered and made it. I
Yeah.
mean, to that level
Yeah.
that gentleman was talking about at that point. I don't know.
Think, and I think that's the biggest struggle when you ask me, like, do I ever think about, should I do comedy full time? Like, no, because, but people talk about making it, and I had to get over this idea of making it. Like,
What is making it?
What is making it?
That's a good
What is making it? And then is that gonna make me happy?
Right.
Is making it even gonna make me happy? I mean, look at all the people who get onto SNL and then die because they do nothing but cocaine. You know what I mean?
Right. And the people that go on SNL and, that's like, so-and-so's leaving SNL. I go, oh, were they on
Yeah, right.
SNL?
Feature player.
Yeah.
The last few years?
So
I always think what I admire about you, D, is you were able to, I think, keep both going very well.
I kept my foot in the water.
I don't know how with that early start. With shows that ended so late and then you would get up at 4 to go to work. Like, how were you doing both? Just, I mean, you drink coffee at 11 p.m., so maybe that's it. It's just escape velocity. You just got on a track and you just couldn't. You just like it.
and sometimes it was self-inflicted because there'd
Yeah.
be Monday night poker games that went till 4 o'clock in the morning.
And
I'd
then you
go
just
into
go
work,
straight to work.
Go straight to work, yeah.
Remind him
you
to tell
got
him
your
the
cake and ate
Vegas
it, too.
story.
You just become nocturnal at some point.
At some point.
You
I
go
am
to
very
sleep at
nocturnal. I still
10
am
or whenever
nocturnal.
you're
I don't-
done, yeah.
If I go to bed at 10, I'm
I
sick.
mean, 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Whenever you're done.
No, I seldom get to bed before. I'm usually working or watching something or reading something till 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And then if I get to bed at 1 a.m. or 12:30, I must be really tired and need to sleep.
Nothing on TMC.
Yeah, nothing on Turner Classic, or reading something or working on something. But here's the deal, and this is what and this is the point I'm trying to make, and this is your comedy dad experience
Yeah.
talking, in respects to the creative.
Yeah.
Is like I'm not bragging when I say this, but I am 65 and I am still continuing to write additional chapters. You know, we did the movie. You know, we're
Yeah.
in post-production on the movie.
Which I can't wait to see.
Me too. I can't wait to see it,
Yeah.
even though I have seen the,
Yeah.
the rough cut. But we did something that was kind of amazing. And
You can take the kind of out of there. It's amazing.
making
A movie is amazing. Yeah.
Well, we've made movies. Johnny and I have made movies. We've made movies, but this.
Well, then this is just kind of amazing.
This is a bigger,
yeah.
bigger.
If you've already
bigger
made movies,
amazing.
making another one's only kind of.
No,
amazing.
it's a bigger. Johnny knows what I'm talking about on the level that we did it. It was It was kind of amazing. But and leaning in and working on other things as well.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't stop. I still want to add chapters.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily have to be. And then he became famous. The end.
Yeah.
Chapters. It's not about that.
I've started adding in things. So when people do like New Year's resolutions, I add like a goal every year of something that I want to do, and I try to make it like attainable, but still kind of difficult. So like last year, I said I wanted to learn how to hula hoop. I didn't know how to.
You didn't?
No, I didn't know how to. I mean,
Wow.
I couldn't. You know, you can a little bit, but like I wanted to really learn how to hula hoop.
For how long?
Well, now
how
like.
long do you want it to go? Are you trying to break a record or something?
No, I'm not trying to break a record. I just wanted to learn how to do it well, and I got like an exercise hoop, and now I mean I do it for exercise, and I'll listen to songs, and I always think like, okay, I want to
With
keep
the
it going for the full song, and I can.
And you
like-
stay in rhythm with the song when you're doing it?
Well, yeah, I mean, my rhythm
practice.
still. I'm still just a white girl, but you know, it's
but still, for the most
but
part.
yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
So you can go through
La, la,
you
la,
can go
la,
I can do a
la,
whole
la,
song,
you
yeah.
do a whole song?
Yeah, and really, it's not about like not being able to keep the hoop going. It's just that eventually I get tired,
Right.
and then I'll stop. But like, and what's great about it is that it's a great core workout, and I hate doing core exercises. I hate them. Every time I'm doing a plank, I'm like, how long?
I don't know what you speak of.
Anytime I'm doing
I don't
like
know what a core is
Oh.
unless it's an apple.
planks or sit-ups or any of those things, I'm like,
Planks.
yeah,
that's a
where you-
bar.
right?
Restaurant down in German
Best
Village.
pizza, best pizza.
Great pizza.
Anytime I would do like any of those types of core exercises, I'm like, how long do I have to do this? When is this over? And this is the opposite, where it's like the longer I can keep the hoop going, the more accomplished I feel. I mean, I'm sure some people feel accomplished
get it.
doing a really long plank, but not me.
I get it. I started sending these. I saw them on Instagram. 6 exercises that you should do if you're
Right. Yeah.
X amount of age or older, and I'm like, those seem pretty
Only
simple.
30 seconds a day.
Only 30 seconds a day,
right,
2 minutes a
You-
day.
Use a chair.
Well,
But then I started to watch the videos again, and the guy goes like, first exercise, and then I neglected to read with like 3 sets of those. I'm like,
Right.
well, okay, that's all. You're
There's
lying.
the-
It's not
the-
2
The
minutes.
new clickbait is like, enter how many pounds you want to lose, and this app will tell you how long you have to walk. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I could walk. I could walk. Let's do it.
it's
They
like,
say
walk
walk-
for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
They
they're
say,
like,
well,
"Don't
walking. They
stop."
say walking ultimately is the best exercise.
And then like, yeah.
Unless you're eating while you're doing
Unless
it.
you're eating while you're or smoking and
Walking.
drinking
Yeah,
coffee
right,
or
yeah,
having
no.
a whiskey in a tumbler while you're walking.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing is like I pick something that I think is fun, that is like attainable, that is, and I didn't know. I was like, I might fail at this, or I might not like it, but I'm the cost of one hula hoop in, and I'm not, you know. I mean, I wasn't trying to make a movie. That's amazing. I don't think I could add something like that. into
I'm
my
not
life.
looking for praise for that. I'm just saying I use
No.
it as an example. That,
But
that-
right. But you're checking off the things you want to
Right,
do.
right,
And
right,
when
right.
you think of something, you're like, well, I want to try this. You can. Yeah. And I've got a 6-year-old. I've got a day job. I've got comedy I want to keep doing. So I'm like, okay, this year I was like, I want to roller skate.
Okay.
Because I used to roller skate as a kid. And
roller skate or roller blade?
roller skate.
Roller skate.
Yeah, roller skate. Yeah. So I started taking my son to roller skate lessons at Skate Zone 71. And I got on the roller skates again, and I was like, I don't remember how to do this. This is not like, yeah, I was like, this is not like riding a bike at all.
No, it's not.
I was like, I don't remember how. And then I was thinking back, and I was like, I don't ever remember taking roller skate lessons as a kid.
No,
They were
you
just
wouldn't
like,
have.
here's
You
some
got
skates
it, yeah.
out on the ring. Like,
Backwards.
the
I
big-
could never go backwards. And the only way I could stop was into like into the wall.
Yeah.
That was
how
the
you
only
do
way
it.
I could stop.
Yes. No gear.
Yeah. No.
The roller skate rink requires children under the age of 18 to wear wrist guards. They have to wear
Wear what?
wrist guards.
Wrist guard.
They
What,
have
what
to
the
break
hell
your
does wrist guards have to do with anything?
So when you fall on your wrists, you don't break your wrist.
Oh,
Put
for
your hand
crying in a
out
bucket.
and boom. Yeah.
Seriously?
It happens.
Listen, I love safety. My son wears elbow
She's a
pads
mom.
and knee
That's
pads
a
and a
mom.
helmet. And not because I'm asking him to, because he loves it, because he's my son. And I remember taking him for a walk in the neighborhood one night, and he saw a jogger wearing like a reflective vest. And he's like, Mommy, we need those for our night walks.
And okay.
And I got him one because I was like, hell yeah, we need those. And he was so excited. He's like, I can't wait to go on night walks with my safety vest. It's like, this is a 100% my son.
My dad or my son will be like, we can't go. We don't have a helmet. And I go, shut up. Just get on the fucking bike.
And you're and you're one. If you imagine that's where you are right now. Imagine what it was when I was growing up.
Right.
A helmet? What are you? Evil Knievel?
Yeah.
No, you're not getting a helmet.
Yeah. Evil Knievel.
Evil Knievel. That's
For,
an old reference. He
for
was a
our
stunt
Gen
rider.
Z
He
listeners,
was a
Evil
stunt
Knievel.
rider. I had to use an old reference, and yet you knew who I was talking
I
about.
know exactly what you're talking about.
The biggest compliment I want to pay tonight, because I got a text from Nickey earlier saying that I'm so nervous, I don't know what we're going to talk about tonight. I want to. This is a testament to
Are you gonna make me cry?
No, I'm not going to make you cry.
Okay.
I'm not going to make you cry. I said, don't worry about it. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
I want to show you, and you can't see this if you're listening. I want to show you the notes that I made for this evening.
You spelled my name wrong
It's
I know
a
I spelled your
blank
name wrong.
twice.
Don't pay attention to how I spelled your name.
Mickey Winels.
Just look at it. What are the notes?
Just my name
Just your name
and the date.
and the date.
We don't need any notes.
We don't need any notes.
That's a very high praise. I'm sorry I made a joke about.
No, don't be sorry you made a joke about it. I'm just saying that
That's all. Yeah, thank you.
I'm saying
That's
that
what we
this is a testament
need.
to you, your personality, your loveliness, your being candid, being honest.
Thank you.
That this podcast needed no notes. It needed no questions. It needed nothing except for you to be here.
You're gonna make me cry.
All right, if I can make you cry, that'd be cool.
Keep going, Dino.
Listen, I cry very easily these days.
So do I.
Do you?
Oh my God, are you
gonna
kidding
play
me?
some
The
sappy
older I
music.
get, the more estrogen is going into me, and the testosterone is leaving. And
Really?
I can't watch a Hallmark Christmas movie without sobbing.
Oh, I cry at the dumbest movies. Cars 3, Waterworks.
Waterworks for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Mater, I thought he was going to come back from that one.
Cars 3?
I've never seen it.
Cars 2 is the one where Mater becomes an accidental spy. This is a very confusing franchise. Yes. It's like racing. Cars 1, racing. Cars 2, Mater becomes an accidental spy to uncover some evil plot where
An Italian race car guy.
Big Oil is creating fake electric cars or something like that.
Somebody need to
And
go
then
back.
Cars 3, more racing. Like
More
that was like, what
racing.
is it's
We
really
realized what we did wrong in
bizarre.
the
We need to
second
rein
one.
it back in.
It's the spy who knew too little, but with Mater. Like what are we doing? It is. Yeah.
All right, before we go, let's remind everybody that you are at the first annual Columbus Comedy Festival. When?
Wednesday, August 17th.
Okay.
For FAF, a all-female comedy.
Who's joining you on that show? Anybody that we know?
Oh, you know what? I'm just going to force people to go to the website to look
All
at
right,
the
good
amazing
call.
lineup
Aren't you
on
smart?
that show.
Aren't you smart? And then also,
I'm opening for Sam J.
you're very excited about.
Yes, I'm very excited. She's amazing. On Saturday, August 17th, also at the Key.
Mm-hmm.
And then also I'll be at the Attic Comedy Club on September 6th, ringing in birthday 40.
Will you please remind me of that? I'd like
Yes,
to come to that.
please come.
I'd like to come.
I'll
I'd like
let
to
you know
come.
if you let me know if you want to roast me. I'll put you on
Nah,
that.
I don't think it's in me to roast you. I don't think I could do it in good conscience. I really don't. I think I would fail miserably because I'm just
Your heart's not in it.
Your heart's not in it.
No,
Yeah.
I hate to call you kid, but I do.
Yeah.
I love this kid. I feel like she's been she said comedy dad, comedy daughter.
Mm-hmm.
That's very nice. He calls me the kid he doesn't
And
want.
I do.
Never
You-
wants the kid.
Yeah,
he
the
never
son,
wishes
the
he
son
ever
I never
had.
wanted. The son I never wanted.
Any neglectful father-son relationship, we got that going.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. I will be hosting at the Key on Friday. When, Hansberry? August 16th.
10 p.m.
16th.
So what's the
She's
16th.
Saturday the 17th. I'm Friday the 16th.
What's is it ColumbusComedyFest.com? something like that.
Yeah, it's on Instagram.
All right, we'll
If you go to
figure it out.
Columbus Underground,
Columbus
Underground is
they
producing
would-
it.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
I wish them a huge amount of success on this whole venture because
Yeah.
if it ends up being something on a regular basis, it'll do nothing but get bigger.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
they have taken a huge,
they're bringing a ton of great
a
headliners
huge
in.
bite.
Yeah.
I mean, they really
What
worked hard
portion
on
of this is comedians from Columbus?
I don't know the
either.
percentage. There's, as far as headliners, Jason Banks is
Jason
one of the
Banks.
headliners. Yeah.
So,
But they've got a lot of
It's not-
local.
it's not
Almost,
like
I think
100%?
every show has at least one local.
Fair enough.
on
Okay,
it.
fair
Yeah.
everybody's got. There's a lot of Columbus talent involved,
Good.
which is smart
Sure.
and should be the case. I mean,
Right.
if you're going to have a Columbus Comedy Festival, you got to
Yeah.
utilize the people that you got.
And
in it.
Columbus Underground has been a great partner to the comedy scene for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put out a list every year of the top 10 comedians in Columbus, and it always makes the comedy community so mad.
Yeah.
They get so mad
That
over it.
does.
It's just a
Don't-
reader poll.
it's
Like,
a
I don't know
reader-
why people take it so seriously.
I never
but
took-
it's still, I think it's nice that Columbus Underground does that they ask the
Right.
readers, who are the comedians you like? And then we're going to put their names in our
Make it
thing.
important.
Sure.
Like, I don't know why these comics get mad. Like, be happy that they're putting out there. There's
that
there's
they
that
care.
there
That they care.
that there are enough comedians in this city that you can pick 10.
Right.
Right. Like that's
Yeah.
They would do
That's
that for the
what's
radio
worth- yeah.
stations,
Radio
and they would have like the wrong names. Like that person isn't even alive anymore.
no,
That-
we've
that
had that
person-
happen
You're
before,
like, that,
too.
it's really bad. Hold on, let me do the business
Okay.
real quick.
Oh, yes, business.
Thank the guest.
Well, whatever.
Which would you do the business
Let me just
real
wrap it
quick,
up
then
because we're already talking to Nickey. Nickey's been killing it on social lately. So what are
Thank
we?
you.
Where else are we? TikTok.
I am on
Instagram?
TikTok and Instagram, both at Nickey Wink. I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. NickeyWink. And I just recently had a TikTok about my pizza go kind of viral.
Yeah.
And not really viral. It was like 75,000 views, but that's not
That's
bad.
a
Yeah.
lot.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of views.
Oh, it's just me talking about how they cut my pizza weird. And all of the pieces were different shapes and sizes.
So
He was new.
So this next podcast will be called "The Cut of My Pizza."
The cut of my pizza. Respectable coworker.
Respectable coworker. Finish.
But I put a positive spin on it, and how if you were eating a pizza alone, a pizza cut into all different shapes and sizes is really how you want it. You want that variety if you're eating a
Nice.
pizza by yourself.
Nice.
Very
So,
good.
yeah.
All right.
Punch up, not down, right?
There you go.
75,000 views.
75,000
That's great.
views. So
good.
TikTok, Instagram at Nickey
We
Wink.
should start doing more pizza content.
Well, we just got
we
a
got
TikTok
Gattos.
account, so
You got TikTok
We're gonna
now.
start with
You know,
pizza.
don't get discouraged by it because
I'm
I
not.
will post stand-up clips that get like 9 views, and then I post some stupid thing about my pizza, and it's like 75,000 views.
I
You
think
just don't
stupid's the
know
way
what
to
they're.
go.
Yeah.
Well, you just don't know what they're going to pick up though. The most viral I had was 200,000 views, and it is a stand-up clip.
okay.
Chinese algorithm.
But I only have 1,000 followers. I had a video with 200,000 views, and I still only have 1,000 followers. So yeah,
It's fucked up.
It's weird.
it's really weird.
I don't
get
understand it.
discouraged by it.
I don't get. How can I get discouraged about something I don't understand?
Right. And don't get sucked into it.
I
Like
don't
I
get-
will post
That's
I
the
post
key.
something and then I close the app and then I open it the next day and I was like, "Oh, that did well." Like
That's what she said.
I don't understand. I don't.
Well, we Whiskey Business podcast on TikTok. We have our own account. We have 0 posts. We don't even have like a picture.
We have nothing?
We have nothing on. We just have the account.
the account. is just
So this will be
there,
the test.
just
If
a
anybody
black
even like,
space.
yeah, judge. you
Now,
know,
if that
access.
picks up some views,
yeah,
just a black space.
zero views, has 75,000 likes. Or 0 posts. We have Facebook, Instagram. Thank you for subscribing on your favorite podcasting app. It really helps when you comment because that like boosts our algorithms. Speaking of the Chinese algorithms, comment, like all that kind of stuff. YouTube, Whiskey Business with Dino Tripodis. It helps us so much if you smash the subscribe button.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Ding, 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 ding.
Hit that little bell.
I follow on Spotify.
Thank you. There you go. Spotify. Spotify is actually inching out iTunes, Apple Podcasts lately.
Just a little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah.
And I want to thank our Evergreen family as well. Evergreen
parents,
Podcast.
yes.
Who all this funnels through Evergreen.
And they've got like a bazillion shows now. So anything you like,
Yeah, they do.
they have a new, I don't know, a sub family called Killer Podcasts with like true crime stuff
Oh yeah, they do.
that
They
I'm
do.
like
Yeah,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
like get in on because
There's-
I'm all Halloweeny, you know.
Okay, yeah, a local that used to be here, Carol Costello. Remember Carol Costello? Yeah. She's a big part of Evergreen Podcast and Killer Podcast.
Cool.
Yeah. We're excited about it, and
you
I'm
go.
happy to say that the podcast took a hit while we were doing the film and so
Yeah.
forth. We didn't get them out as regular, but now we're starting to get them out more regularly, and our numbers jumped in July.
Awesome.
We
Love that.
doubled our numbers, so we're getting
So
back.
thank
into this.
you.
Thank you, Evergreen, and thank you for listening. We're getting back into the swing of things. I hope to see you sooner than later.
Yes. Well, hopefully I'll see you at the festival. I don't think I can be there on Friday, but I'll try.
Then I don't think I can be there on Saturday, but we're gonna try to put
I have my son the rest of the weekend.
I have
so
your son the rest of the weekend.
Should
Wait
I bring
a
him?
second. What?
Can he open?
But you know what? You
That's a
mentioned
whole
that. You
nother
He's
mentioned
got that
conversation.
great Roberto joke.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned next Wednesday. We have a podcast next. When this airs, it'll be airing.
The 14th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a podcast tonight. She's doing the all-female show. But where's that? Is that the key? Is that
That's at the Key,
That's
yeah.
at the key as
Yeah.
well.
Can you get 4 dudes on the list?
Yeah, I will.
We
Yeah.
will pay. We'll pay.
We'll pay because we want to contribute to whatever. Whatever I didn't sign on the contract.
No,
Yeah.
no. I actually, that's the thing that, even though I'm unemployed right now, when I was a kid, I would be like, give me free tickets. But that's one thing that I've learned over as an old man. I'm 40, so you'll learn
Yeah.
this next month.
Oh yeah, you guys are so.
You'll buy you got to buy the ticket because it supports the cause.
does, yeah.
Don't get
I
on
mean-
the list. What's $8 or whatever?
It depends, certain shows they're making money off food and beverage. So if that's the case, then I can get a free ticket for friends. I will.
We're
But
not
like,
worried
yeah.
about the free tickets.
Just let us know if we can.
But we are excited
Well,
that,
we
you
can.
that you
We'll
got
be there.
not one but 2 venues at the Comedy Festival this
Yeah.
year, and I'm thrilled that you were here with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And maybe at the very latest, are you doing the Great Debate this year?
Yeah.
You are? Am I?
Well,
November?
actually, I don't know. I haven't heard anything yet.
I haven't heard anything yet either.
Yeah, but I'm
Are you doing it?
If they ask me back, I'll do it.
If they ask me,
I would be
back, I'll do it.
shocked if they don't ask me back. No.
No, I would be shocked as well because you're one of the best things about it.
Well, there's also not very many women, so they got to check that box.
They don't have to check that box. They could go without it, but they're smart not to do.
No, I love doing that show.
Yeah, it's a fun show.
It's a great show.
But I know we're running late. Edith Keeler, quick, go. You got 5 seconds.
Oh, Edith Killer, Edge of Forever Bar and Girls, our Star Trek
Which
podcast.
is kicking ass.
It's only on YouTube, so you can check it out. We
It's
try to
only
get one
on
out about
YouTube.
every 3 weeks, and
And they get like tons of. They get.
They're nerds. Them in the nerd community.
Do you
really
understand?
on
Do you
it.
understand that? First of all, I'm a fan.
Instagram and Facebook
I
as well.
subscribe. Secondly, did you one of you read my comment?
I did. I wrote
Yeah. Did you write back to me?
Yeah.
All right, because there was some debate over a bottle of whiskey that you.
Yeah.
All right.
I did a heart sign on it.
Oh, you did. Oh, thank you.
You just said we're running long, and now they're on.
Yeah. Now we're nerding out on the Star Trek podcast.
I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
If he runs with it, I just let it go.
Okay.
And did you see what I said at the end of my comment?
Refresh my
Yeah.
memory, please.
Carry on, ensigns.
Oh
Yes.
shit, that's
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either. No.
That's all Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Nerd.
But that's
Star Trek.
clickbait. Go to Edith Keeler on YouTube.
It's a really great podcast.
Keeler's
These
Edge of
guys-
Forever
these guys
Bar and
do-
Grill.
They went rogue.
They watch Star Trek in order. and
They watch
talk
the
about
episodes in
Oh,
order. Yeah.
Wow. Now that I'm divorced, I don't have to watch Star Trek ever again.
And on that note, beautiful. My name is Dino Tripodis. Until the next bottle, see ya.